And we are live. Welcome to the Pre-Chiro podcast. My name is Ben. I'm a chiropractor. And today I'm going to have a conversation with Boo out in Barcelona. Boo, thank you so much for taking the time today to share with the prospective students.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
Right on. Can we just get started by you sharing a little bit about your background and what you were doing before you became a chiropractor, and then also what attracted you to this profession?
Okay. The viewers should know that I was raised, I grew up in a chiropractic household, but that's not really what drove me to. I always had that in the back of my mind, but really what ultimately drove me to become a chiropractor was knowing the difference, the benefits. And I only learned that from not knowing what those things were by doing those things that aren't within what we call the scope of chiropractic. Stop getting adjusted, started to stop eating right, started to not exercise. So I went to college, undergrad at Philadelphia University, and I had kind of that college experience. So I started to do things that were unhealthy, kind of not take care of myself. And so then I started to realize how important that chiropractic lifestyle, the chiropractic care is. Mm-hmm. And so when my health kind of deteriorated, I realized, wow, I need to get back on track, and I need to get back to really that initial purpose of what I wanted to do, which is to become a chiropractor.
So did you think you would be a chiropractor as you were growing up in a chiropractic sort of family, a chiropractic household? Did you grow up thinking you would be a chiropractor, or did you come to it once you grew up a little bit and started thinking about your career path?
Yeah, so I always did. I always thought I was going to become a chiropractor until actually that moment when there was that decision to make. And I was 18 years old at the time, and I was a very healthy, very active outdoors kid, and just health was not a priority. Chiropractic was not a priority. I thought everything was good. I thought that's the way people kind of live. And so I needed that experience, that reflection, which I'm really happy on kind of that experience I just shared about, the opposite. And more than just, the unhealthy components, not receiving chiropractic care, but I became really lost and disconnected. Mm-hmm. And I really contribute a lot to that because I've been under chiropractic care my whole life. And I really feel that's one of the biggest benefits with chiropractic care is really just, that connection with yourself. Mm-hmm. And so I lost that aspect. And it wasn't until I started receiving chiropractic care, if you guys know me, I went down to Buenos Aires, Argentina. I met up with a chiropractor named David Chiro, and he just kind of shared his life and started to adjust me, started back in chiropractic care, and it connected me back to source, and I knew exactly.
Awesome. So if I'm a college student and I'm thinking about my path, and you talk about the importance of really just reflecting on your own experience, and I've never been to a chiropractor. I didn't even really know what chiropractic was, never even heard of chiropractic. How would you introduce somebody to the idea of going to see a chiropractor while they're in college or while they're in high school so that they can gain that experience that you're talking about?
Man, I think just do it. I would just tell them, just do it. What do you have to lose? And you have so much to gain. And I think, there's a few age groups that chiropractic is really extraordinary. It can be so, important. And one of those is, for young children developing. And the other is in college, just because there's so many new experiences. There's so many, things that are detrimental we're taking on. It's a lot of stress. It's overwhelming. And to be able to receive chiropractic care along that way, that time is super beneficial. So I just tell, do it.
Right on. So if I'm a student and I'm planning to become a chiropractor, I'm planning to go to chiropractic school a couple months from now, how should I prepare myself mentally, physically? what should I start to look at or think about that could make my transition into chiropractic school maybe a little smoother?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, my personal advice would be to find, a chiropractor first and build a relationship, a rapport, and kind of just, ask them questions so you're aware, you get familiar. And the other really is then to do the same, but with a student. Find the place that attracts you where you want to go to chiropractic school, and then just see if you can somehow reach out to a student there, and they'll give you like the inside scoop. And what I love about students is they're not afraid. There's no agenda. They'll just give you the raw truth, which is
Yep,
good.
definitely. Keep it real. Can you speak a little bit about your student experience in chiropractic school, what it was like, maybe some surprises that you had or challenges that you had along the way, and just give some insight for the student to really, or for anyone considering this path to really gain a better understanding of what students go through?
Okay. Yeah, so, with me, I'll just be honest. Unfortunately, I didn't have the easiest time in chiropractic school. It was a challenge for me. Um, there was a lot of things I already knew about chiropractic, and there was things that we were learning that seemed very different, or almost opposed or opposite. And then on top of that, it's challenging. It's a full curriculum. It's a lot of it's full load, and so I got pressed pretty hard. And on top of that, I was working, so it was a hectic and stressful time. But when I reflect back on that, I mean, everything was so worth it. So you just have to take it for what it's worth, and then once you're over it, I mean, it's paradise. I mean, it's heaven afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my personal experience. Some people absolutely love chiropractic school, and it's heaven for them inside. So I don't want to say that, but I think across the board, it's challenging regardless. It's a tough program,
Yep.
no matter where you are. But it's well worth it.
Right on. And can you speak to why it's so well worth it? What are you doing that brings you such satisfaction or fulfillment in life these days? And also, just what would you speak to a pre-chiro student about in regards to what it's like to be a chiropractor in the real world?
Okay. So yeah, there's a number of things I'd say that it's really worth it. One being, a business owner, the flexibility. There's pros and cons, but tons of advantages with that. So you kind of you can shape your hours, put it on how you like. The other is obviously you're doing what you want to do, and it's very rewarding. It's financially good money. And, at this point, you can pretty much go be anywhere in the world. I went to Life University. I graduated from there. Immediately after, I came to Barcelona, Spain, and I'm allowed, practicing here. So it's something you can do anywhere, anytime. You just need, your hands and some information and education behind you. But more than any of that stuff is really the reward of service of what you're offering to people. I mean, when you hear the stories and you touch people's lives and they share this and the difference and the impact you make, it's like nothing else. I think and that caters to a lot of people. A lot of people, especially in the profession, want to help people, heal people, and that's what you're working with on a day-to-day basis, really helping people out. So,
Boo, I think you're speaking definitely about your experience, but you're also teaching right now. And so you're a practicing chiropractor, but you're also giving back, and you're sharing with the students about the professional development and the art of chiropractic. Can you speak about what this professional training that you're bringing to the students is really all about?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's all about elevating the art of chiropractic, the technique, the adjusting component and element of it. Um, so I'm the advanced technique instructor at Barcelona College of Chiropractic, and we just want to make sure that these guys here are graduating with a high level of adjusting skills. I was brought in by one of my good friends here. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to, and he had asked me if I could. And because I had filled in for him just a couple times before, I knew, how amazing it is, how fun it can be, and the students are just incredible here. So
Mhm.
that's why I initially did it. But like, I didn't think I was, I thought, nah, that's the last place I would be. But
Yeah.
because of those experiences, and it's incredible.
Hmm.
So,
And if you're maybe a small person, or you're a really big person, or you were an athlete, or maybe you were a scientist in a laboratory and you weren't interacting with a lot of people, how is that process for students? Like, you're coming into contact with chiropractic students at different parts of the program. What would you say to somebody considering this path and not being super sure that they're going to be the most comfortable, initially at least, putting their hands on people in a way that they're helping others, but also in a way that they feel confident in themselves and their hands? What's that student mindset and that student process like?
um, so I would say it's just about, having breakthroughs and stuff, learning. It's a process. Everybody comes in with some type of block or fear, but that's why a good teacher can help you through those things. I think if it's something that personally you're having a hard time because you maybe afraid with your hands or something, I
Hmm.
just say, you have to get over yourself. It's not about you, it's about them. If it's
Hmm.
someone on the table that you just love, that is the world to you, and they need you, you're not going to be thinking about, I'm afraid to kind of touch. You're going to do everything you can to help that person. And so
Hmm.
this is what that profession is all about. It's about helping people. And
Hmm.
that's what we're teaching students to do, to be able to do. So,
Awesome, awesome.
yeah.
How does the philosophy of chiropractic transfer through the art? How is the philosophy expressed through the art of chiropractic? Because you're speaking to students about how to develop their art, but you're also at a school which is very philosophically oriented. So how do those two connect to each other?
Man, I love that you asked that, because it's everything. I mean, it's everything. We split, typically the chiropractic into three pillars of philosophy, science, and art, but it's really the triune, the three of them. And so the philosophy is the question, the reason why we're doing what we're doing. So it's ingrained in everything, in the technique and the approach we use. So we always are bringing in philosophy, asking students why, what they're doing, um, and it's a big component of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome. How would you describe what the future looks like for Barcelona Chiropractic College and the students that are graduating from there? Are they graduating with a high level of competency in the philosophy, science, and art of chiropractic? And how do you see the profession growing in Spain in particular?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, the profession is growing a lot, especially in Spain. For the college, I say it's just a matter of time. It's gonna explode. We've been growing consistently for the past 8 years. And I think people are starting to become more aware. It's like been kind of hurdles here in Europe, but now, there's just more schools available, more chiropractors, and we're kind of at that point where people are starting to become aware of it. And I think it's just going to explode. Barcelona Chiropractic College is incredible. It's one of like it's an amazing location in Barcelona. It's right in the city. There's so much to offer. It's a bilingual program. And on top of that, we just have amazing professors. The education is good. So people are coming out with, yeah, I'd say a high level. And more than that, but I'd say, I know people that have graduated that are, successful chiropractors. And I think that's the most important, is being able to transition practice in the real world, and be successful, seeing high volume, taking care, and having that ability to do that.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe the educational experience specifically at Barcelona Chiropractic College to a student that's considering going there? What is the program structured like, and how would a student get started?
Okay, so the first part is just to reach out to the college, and you can do so on the website, Barcelona College of Chiropractic.com. Reach out to admissions, and then basically we're on the year system, so you have to start the beginning. So September this year, it's kind of mid-October, and then it's a 5-year program. So it's it's a chunk, it's an investment, and yeah, that's pretty much it to really get started. Yeah.
If I'm a student in the US and I want to go to this Barcelona school, is there entrance requirements that I need to prepare myself for? And what about the portability from other schools in Europe or different parts of the world if they wanted to transfer to Barcelona? Do you know anything about that process?
I don't know so much about that because I'm not, involved with that process, but I do know, we have transfer students. You can transfer as long as your classes correlate to ours, we should be able to get that process transferred over. As far as requirements, there are requirements. I think it's pretty standard, but you have to just contact admissions for that. And then I don't think it's very hard to get through or start.
If a student that's in pre-chiropractic wanted to start thinking like a chiropractor, and we were going to offer them some resources that you look at, that chiropractors are looking at, and where would you send a student if they wanted to see like what chiropractors are seeing, or study what chiropractors are studying?
I would probably send them to, one of our seminar series, like in the profession, like DE when I was going to Life. So many students I know were there because they initially went to DE, and then that inspired them and just being and feeling it. I think it's a good way because there's nothing like really experiencing it than kind of talking and stuff. And there's so much information behind it that I think it could get kind of lost in translation. Like, where I think once you hear it, you feel it, you listen to the speakers, you talk to people, you're in that environment. It's so much information awareness that it's one of the best ways to maximize the amount of time, and then see if it's something for you. Over here in Europe, we have Chiro Europe, so I highly recommend that. And now Barcelona College of Chiropractic has their BCC Lyceum. So that's a great one. And, there's all kinds now, like Vision. So that's what I would probably recommend if they can.
Mm-hmm. Are any of these virtual events, given the circumstances of 2020, is the BCC Lyceum going to be live streamed or televised? And if so, do you know where students can go? If you don't know, we can post it in the comments below, like where to go to register.
Yeah. No, I do know. And if we could post it too, that would be amazing. But they can just go bcclyceum.com. It is virtual. And anyone, anywhere can do it. When you register, you can not only will you be able to live stream the actual event, but you'll also be sent a recording of it. And so you can watch it from anywhere, anytime after. So I think it's a great way. And the school's making it very affordable, you know, just to get the exposure out there. It's 33 euros right now until the end of October. So that I think is a good one. Unfortunately, you know, I think being live is the best, you know, in person, but we got to do what we got to do. And I think the majority of others are virtual as well. So if there's one that you'd recommend, yeah, find it and sign up for the virtual.
And if you're a prospective student, we really want you to know that we care about you, that we're here for you. And if 33 euros seems like a barrier, we can make that happen. The Pre-Chiro channel can definitely offer you a scholarship to get in and really witness what chiropractors are sharing, what they're inspired by, so that you can continue to connect to the message that we want to be crystal clear for you, because we want you to make an informed decision. We want you to choose this path for the reasons that you feel are in alignment with you. And I just want to say that we can definitely make some scholarships happen if it's a prospective student that's really interested in watching and getting engaged.
Yeah, and I don't know, you know, too many people. I think you're out in California, right?
Yeah.
So if anyone out there, you know, I'll put up for 10 students. If there's anyone that's wanting, just contact me on Facebook. Just say you were watching that show, you're in California. I'll sponsor 10 of you guys.
There you go. Yeah, we're making this available for you. We want to create a supportive infrastructure where every chiropractic student, and that includes you, the Pre-Chiro student, is able to connect in with the essence of what chiropractic's really about, so that you can come out of school really clear and confident in yourself. So, Boo, I want to thank you so much for sharing with the prospective students today. And do you have any final messages if they're really like interested and just maybe wanting to connect with you, or just maybe learn more? Anything that you want to share with the prospective student today?
Yeah, I mean, if you're interested and you have questions, please reach out to me. The best is just on Messenger. I check in on Facebook, and it's just Boo Burnier. I think I'm the only Boo Burnier there, so it should be fine. And I'll reply, and you know, like what I said, for the BCC Lyceum, for the first 10 that are out there, just say you are listening and you want in, and I'd be happy to do it for the first 10. And whatever way I can support you, like chiropractic has just given me so much, not even post, you know, graduation, but even, I mean, I was brought up, raised in chiropractic. So it's just given me so much. And, if I can give back or help get you into it, I'm totally there. So I'd love it if anyone wants to reach out personally. So
appreciate it. That's what's up. And then this is just a side note bonus. I'm not sure what you're into musically or culturally or whatever, but what is like one creative way that you've made something unfamiliar like chiropractic familiar or relevant to an audience that might be like into some sort of music that you like, or some sort of cultural thing that you like? Whether, you know, I'm just curious, like, this is a random question, but do you have any sort of creative ways that you've connected to people with chiropractic?
Not the things that you mentioned. I would probably just say through sports is the main one, just because of the kind of lifestyle and the people that, you know, typically are. So I'm a big cyclist. I'm a big mountain biker and tennis player. And through that, I've developed a lot of, you know, community and people, and through that inspired, you know, I've shared chiropractic and got them. So, but I think it's kind of an easy transition. You know, they're athletes. They like to take care of their bodies. They do things like that. So, that's been the biggest, I'd say.
Cool. And I believe that the the thing to be learned in that answer is that you basically are just able to connect with people through chiropractic with whatever it is that you're interested in, whatever it is that you're into and doing with your life. So I appreciate you answering the question.
Let me ask you if we have time. Do you have one?
Well, you know, I live in Oakland, California. It's definitely a very diverse community, and I come from a very sort of inner city hood-like mentality. So, like just off the top of my head, the barber shop is usually the community center. So when I see people, I'm like, you know how you go get a haircut, you go get a lineup. Well, you go to the chiropractor, you get adjusted, you get aligned up, like you get in touch with yourself. So I'm just freestyling on the streets with people all the time in new ways. I mean, I believe, you know, different cultural figures like Nipsey Hussle, for example, shares a message that, you know, the marathon continues, that life is a process, which is very much in alignment with chiropractic being a process, that we meet people, we share some time with them, we try and impart our values, our beliefs, our way of supporting them to transform themselves, you know, and if they hear us, that's great. If they don't, it's all good, but the marathon continues anyway. So anyway, I appreciate you, Boo, for sharing your time with me today, man. And we'll definitely reconnect sometime soon. Peace.